it seems to me like more often than not, whenever you hear people talking about like warm-ups or exercises, it's always just like the 1, 2, 3, 4 thing on each string. Or like some variation of that. And while stuff like that is obviously very useful and good at building techniques and good for warming up and stuff like that, they're just not the funnest thing to play, and they don't sound very cool. They're certainly not inspiring, to make you want to keep playing and building on them. They're just kind of like drills, that you have to run over and over again. So I've come up with just 3 little exercises here that I want to show you, one of which I've been playing for over 30 years whenever I'm warming up. And each one of them, in my opinion, is inspiring. They sound cool, and I'll often find myself, as I'm just playing along with them, writing progressions from them or just coming up with new ideas. I'm inspired to keep playing more and more. So that's why I think these type of exercises that I'm about to show you are just valuable, because not only will they get the blood flowing, but they'll build dexterity, build technique, skill, style, and they're inspiring to make you want to keep playing. So let's get into the first one here. I'm going to show you each riff just in its simplest form, and then I'll show you ways you can elaborate on it and take it to other places, different ways you can play them. And then from there, the only limitations are going to be your creativity, imagination, I suppose, ability, and your determination, because that's what all these are going to take, some discipline and determination, because they're not the easiest, but if you put the work in, you'll get the benefits from them. So let's get into this first one here. Nice and clean. I'm in E. So just 4 chords, simple there. Just arpeggiating, meaning hitting each note individually of that chord, sometimes with the addition of some other notes as well, but with that shape, with the chord pattern. So the first one we're starting on with my pinky finger on the 12th fret of the 5th string, and then my middle finger on the 10th fret of the 4th string, and my index finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. And for the first 3 shapes, our index finger and pinky are going to stay like that in each position. The 4th one is its own little thing, but it's the easiest. We'll get to that. What you want to concentrate on most is getting all of this clean, which if you can't at first, it's totally understandable and fine. It just takes time, and it's working on getting things clean that really improves your skills as a guitar player. Listening, identifying problems. Where am I not getting a note to ring? Stuff like that, because your fingers are laying across it in a certain way. So it's about arching your fingers in the right way, getting comfortable holding yourself in certain positions so that you can play chords cleanly instead of, So back to this first one here, you can see the tab. Next position. What's cool too, I like about this, is when you move to the next position, because the full shape of this stays the same. It's just going to be our middle finger and our ring finger. They're going to change. Here we're using the hell's the name of this? Pinky, middle, index. When we go to here, we're going to switch to pinky, ring, index. But again, our ring and index stay in the same spot. And then we go back to the first position where we're using our middle finger. So the first 3, using the middle finger, ring finger, middle finger, and the final chord. 1 on 5, 4 open, 3 open. Okay, one thing, little icing on top, or say that? Icing on top of the cake, right? Is getting that last one to continue to ring while you move back up to the first position for the repeat. Check this out. You hear I had that ringing throughout. When I go to place my back for this chord, it's still ringing. So that's nice. If I were to mute that, it isn't quite as nice in the transition of the repeat. You can also just do chords. Put on tails. Just doing that for fun. Just sounds cool. I don't know why. I was just inspired to do that. I'm hitting the first string open, along with the 5th fret of the 2nd string, which is the same note. Sliding to 3. Here I was going, just hitting the first string open. Same thing. Do that one there too. I can go kind of like this, or first we'll do it open. So I'm just running in terms of the strings. 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3. Hear how clean that was? That takes a lot of discipline to keep your fingers arched so that they don't accidentally mute any of the ringing strings. That's a great skill to try to master in all your progressions, all your chords, no matter what you're playing. Even with distortion, getting the notes to ring in between chords that you want to have ring, obviously, is a good thing. On the contrary, sometimes you don't want notes to ring, and so you need to be able to mute those. Let's check this out, muting. That same type of thing I just did before. So what this does, I think, is really warms up the left hand to get that width and dexterity going. Forces you to concentrate on the notes in the different shapes you're playing, even though the shapes are easy. And your right hand is practicing and warming up to doing different strings, skipping around all those strings. Getting those clean with your right hand. Or what's another pattern? Oops. So like I said, really your imagination is the only limitation. You could do any of that. This would sound awesome with distortion. So that's that one. Let's move into exercise number 2. Very similar, I would say even a little bit easier. There's a little less movement on the neck, but still takes the same amount or even more, same amount of discipline in terms of letting all the notes ring. See, and even I had a little trouble with that. Part of it's because I'm trying to think about giving this lesson as I'm doing it, but still, even I noticed that, I didn't get that chord quite as clean. So when I go to the next one, that's all I can do, especially if you're in a situation you're playing live or recording, recording, you'd probably want to start over or remember to punch that in later. But live, sometimes you just got to move on and try to hit the next chord as best you can. And that's the type of things I'm thinking about all the time. I'm constantly analyzing my playing, making sure everything sounds the way I want to, clean, in time, in tune, all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to take an E here, E power chord. And if we arpeggiate that, let's say 6th through 2nd string. That's what I'm doing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then I just work my way back down. 3, 4, 5. So I'd recommend, if you're just getting used to this, trying it for the first time, just trying to get that shape clean first. Just the E. have here? We have our middle finger just hanging out, waiting to hit something. Why don't we hit this 8 here? Everything else stays the same. Then let's move it down to the 7th fret. Let's move the whole shape down a whole step. And everything stays the same. It's kind of like the beauty of both of these exercises that I've shown so far. The right hand is really staying the same the whole time. So that's helpful when you're trying to learn these exercises. And again, I keep stressing the word discipline, but it's keeping everything disciplined, not too crazy, not letting your mind wander into other things or just start ripping or whatever like that. It keeps you focused on what you're doing here. So in this 2nd shape there, this is where it gets hard, the 3rd. So what I'm doing there is I'm just barring the 7th fret on the 6th and 5th string. Practice that. Practice just going the strings 6, 5, 4 and getting that 4 to ring clean. It's not clean. Hear it? But if I arch that up a little more, hear that? That was a problem before. I didn't have my ring finger on there. So that's 7 on 6, 7 on 5, 9 on 4. Want that 4th string there, 9th fret, 4th string to ring clean. That's hard. It's stressing my hand to do that. Then the exact same shape here. I recommend practicing that and getting that clean before you add in all the rest of the strings. That's just a beautiful little piece. Think of all the melodic ideas you can do over that. You got a buddy you're playing guitar with, you know, it's like a Metallica thing. One guy's playing that, the other guy comes in with a nice little lead. You can play the chords. Right there, I'm making it even easier, not even using my ring finger, my ring finger, I'll put that back in. Carried away. Little technique there. I'm muting pretty much everything, but I'm leaving that 2nd string, that B string, to ring free there. And that's what's ringing from each chord to each chord and making it sound nice. If I didn't do that, See, I'm even still trying to accent it there. You hear that? Just picking it a little bit harder. A lot of the time you can refer to an accent as that. When you accent a note, you're just picking it a little bit harder or something. But I'll try to hit it just the same as the others. Still sounds cool, but I like letting it ring. And there, you know, really I'm just, as I'm going down the strings there, kind of just releasing my mute slightly. Where my hand is sitting across the strings, just kind of like that. So there we go. Last one. This is probably the toughest, depending on how you look at it. But to me, it's the most important. This is the one I've been doing pretty much my entire guitar career. So 30 years now, 30 plus years. And it is the very first scale I ever learned. And it's just the first box of it. And it's the E blues pentatonic. I'm going to develop this much further. So don't let me lose you here. It's going to get cooler, I promise. Because you might say, oh, what are you doing? You're just running a scale there. What's exciting about that? But I'd like to think that I'm going to make it a little more exciting for you. Don't worry. This so important. Again, dexterity, picking, discipline, getting all the notes to sound clean. And the whole time it's teaching you the blues pentatonic scale. You can do it in any key. And what I love about it is no matter what you're playing over E, I know that I can use that first shape over that F. Oh, sorry, yeah. F sharp. You can also do the octaves. So if I were just playing that to, and obviously you can see the tab. I've just got it running down. I'll just reverse it. And the difference real quick between the blues pentatonic and the pentatonic is the additional of 2 notes they call blues notes. Here are those kind of bluesy. That note doesn't really exist in just the pentatonic box. It's the blues pentatonic box. At least that's the way I was taught. So here's the exercise. If I were to just play this to a click track. 1, 2, 3, boom. What I do to kind of sass it up a little bit, don't even really think about the timing, especially because I can't even describe exactly the timing of it. I think I come in on an and or a 1E and a 2E and it could be on a ia or something in terms of timing, but here it is, and then I'll just do it. 2, 3, boom. Definitely a little more bluesy, a little more country, rock and roll, a little sassier to really accent and hold a little bit. Instead of, that's very rigid. Everything in perfect 8th notes, whatever that would be, depending on your tempo, but I'm going. So back to what I was saying, since I can't really explain exactly the timing that I'm going, to say exactly where to come in if you were to put it to a metronome, just get used to that feel. And that's so much more important, in my opinion, than trying to be so rudimented around exactly the tempo, exactly the timing, what your note value should be within that and stuff like that. Just listen to the feel of that and get that sass down. Once you have that in your soul, it translates to everything you're playing. Take it a couple steps further. Check this out. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm just running it down in the E position and then running it back up in the octave E position. Do some like little 3-string things. of that is that you can play any note from the box in any combination. And it all works. So anybody's playing just some E progression. I'm wanting to bend so bad, but I'm trying not to for the example there, because bending's a whole nother thing, you know, just bend to the note you want. But that's a whole nother lesson. So there is really what I wanted to show you, just what's possible with that E blue pentatonic. Again, in anything you're playing in G. You know, no matter what key you're in, that same box will just work perfectly. And then there's 4 other boxes that you can, you know, take you all the way up the neck if you want as well. But again, a completely different lesson. I hope you'll take this one seriously, take it to heart, try to learn some of the things from it. I hope it wasn't too advanced, or for the advanced players, if you're here watching a lesson like this, I hope it wasn't downplayed too much for you. There's a little something for everybody in here, I think, and really it comes down to the discipline and dedication, getting those notes to sound good, as I mentioned, just trying to tackle these things, you know, without giving up. That's what takes you to the next level, and I hope you join me for the next level, because don't stop now. Take your playing even further with one of these videos right here, where I'm showing all sorts of different riffs, a lot more distorted stuff, power chords, cool little tips and tricks to get that style flowing. I know you'll love it. I'm Rob Arnold. Thanks so much for watching. And please come back and see me again on the next one.